This week, new technology, battles, deals, and more deals. First, technology for you science buffs out there. On the 4th, President Lincoln views the hot air balloon. Yes, it is a newfangled technology that I don't fully know how it works, but apparently it can fly. This would be very useful for reconnaissance, and Lincoln appears to be very happy with the test. We'll see what comes of this in the weeks and maybe months to follow. The same day, the Confederacy signs treaties with the Shawnee and Seneca Native American tribes. The Shawnee are actually internally divided. Some want to join with the Confederacy, some want to join with the Union, while most just want to be left out of the conflict, though the tribal leaders go with the Confederacy. This is actually a lot like other Native American tribes. They want to be on the winner's side, hoping that they could gain favor if they sided with them, proved themselves to be either allies or citizens. But it's hard to see which way the wind is blowing, especially after the string of Confederate victories, while the Union still has material advantage. Let's hop over the pond to merry old England, why don't we? By the 5th, the London Times have endorsed the Union, and the London Post has endorsed the Confederacy. This is showing of the greater divide within English society on the Civil War. The elites of England are more likely to support the Confederacy. King Cotton fuels the textile trade, which a lot of them profit off of, while the working class support Northern abolitionists, see the entire conflict as based off more on morals. Now, what about the officials of England? Lord Palmerston, the current Prime Minister, doesn't speak much about it, saying only a few words, but all of them are in support of the Confederacy. While Benjamin Disraeli, who is of the opposition, has Confederate leanings, but he's not in charge, he doesn't need to say anything, so doesn't. In short, Cotton fuels the British economy, and those who profit the most from the British economy support it, while the moral character of England is what a lot of the masses can subscribe to more easily. On the 6th, Brigadier General Robert Anderson is relieved of command. Many believe it's due to his failing health. He is quite ill at this time, though some believe it is due to his unwillingness to arm Unionists. He is replaced by Brigadier General William Tecumseh Sherman, who is quite angry. Wait. That can't be right. Yeah, Sherman actually doesn't want higher responsibility. In fact, he made Lincoln promise that he would not be given any sort of high responsibility, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Yeah, I know it's a weird thing to be angry about, a promotion. Also on the 7th, the Cherokee and the Confederacy sign a treaty. They are officially allies. This is due to the Cherokee's deep-rooted hatred of America. And for good reason. The Trail of Tears, one of the most shameful acts in American history, is of recent memory. And William Seward, the current Secretary of State during his 1860 presidential election, openly called for the settlement of Apache territory, a complete disregard for our past treaties with Native American tribes. Because of this, the allyship makes perfect sense, though not all Cherokee agree with this, and many also want to remain neutral during the conflict. Moving on from one of the most shameful actions our country has ever done, to a bloody conflict. The Battle of Santa Rosa Island happens on the 9th. A battle in... Wait a minute. Florida? That's a first. Santa Rosa Island is defended by a Union garrison at Fort Pickens and the 6 New York Zouaves who are camped outside the fort. In total, they number around 600 men and are led by Colonel Harvey Brown. The Confederates number around 1,200 men and are led by Brigadier General Richard Anderson. Wait a minute, wasn't he literally just fired? Oh no, that was Brigadier General Robert Anderson of the Union. I'm not sure if they are related, but if they aren't, they both had grandfathers named Richard Anderson who were heroes of the American Revolution. Early in the morning, the Confederates slip across from mainland Florida to Santa Rosa Island. Anderson has a plan. The Confederates will attack in 3 columns and completely overwhelm the Union defenders. But the landing doesn't go perfectly. There's quite a ruckus and it's quite loud. He already worries that the surprise has been lost. His forces creep through the woodlands, already fearing an ambush. But as they approach a clearing and see the 6 New York Zouaves, their fears were unfounded. They have not been alerted at all. They quickly rush over and force the Union back towards Fort Pickens. But the Union colonel realizes what's happening and sends out reinforcements from the garrison to hold the Union line. They work. It is still dark. There's no way to communicate on mass scale. Men band together, hoping just to survive the night. Fire at anything that looks in the shape of an enemy. Anderson thinks the day is going against him. Well, I should say morning. Light has not yet broached. But unlike his earlier fear of the Union being alerted, this one isn't unfounded. The Confederates' attack has stalled, and right before daybreak, Anderson withdraws his forces. The Union lost 14 men dead, 29 wounded, and 24 missing. The Confederates claim to have lost anywhere from 30 to 40 dead and 47 to 57 wounded, but many believe there's just to be a little over 100. I get this reporting from the National Park Service. It's a sort of newspaper I'm not aware of. And finally, to the most important part of the week, sickles. Our man Dan, who cares deeply about his men, decides not to take any risk and bring as many ambulance wagons as he possibly can. Seems like the right thing to do, but old Joe Hooker is not having any of it. Because it slows down the line, is cumbersome, and a waste of taxpayer money that could have been spent on other parts of the war. Obviously, these are unfounded. He's probably just angry about something else. But what? We'll have to wait till next week. This week ends with tribes picking sides, shakeups in the Union command, and a victory in the darkness. Hello, it's literally the entire Civil War week by week team here. This time in a spiffy costume. Now, if you liked the video, please click like. If you want to see more, you should be seeing around now a recommended video for those of you with low commitment. For those of you with slightly higher commitment, there should also be a playlist of the entire war up till now, plus this week's episode. And if you want to see more, or the entire Civil War depresses you, and you're very worried, so you don't want any information about the possible Confederate invasion, which is coming right towards you, Maine, then don't subscribe. But for those of you who are willing to defend Maine, which is in imminent danger, please subscribe. For those of you who disliked the video, you're probably a traitor. Lincoln!